Hi guys, welcome to the image sequence exercise. I think this is something you guys are probably all going to use in some way in your projects. What we're going to do is we're going to animate through an image sequence. This is my image sequence. I've got 8 frames in it. You might have 3, you might have 24, you might have 50, but I've got 8 frames that I want to show in order. So I want to show 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I want to show them all in order, and we're going to show them based on, the first thing I'm going to do is just show you how to animate them in order using the draw function. So the user won't click anything to animate them. The second thing I'm going to show is I'm going to show you how to animate them on a click. And the third thing I'm going to do is show you how to animate them based on the mouse position. So I think I'll probably split it up into 3 videos. So this will be image sequence 1, animate on draw. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to set up our variables here. You should have all watched a video on arrays, the introduction to arrays. So we're going to save a variable called images, which is going to hold an array of our images. Yeah? You can see here that in the preload function, we set our images into our array using our array syntax here, and we just use our load image function to load each image into that array. Yeah, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The other thing we've saved up here is an image index. Yeah, and we're going to set that at 0 to start with, because that's the first frame, and we want to show the first frame. The next thing we do is one thing that you might not have seen before is we're going to create the canvas inside a variable. The reason we're going to do that is because when we animate it on based on the mouse position, we want to attach a listener directly to the canvas. So we need to set it up as a variable. It's exactly the same. You're going to still get a canvas like that, yeah, but we're going to be able to use it later on if we do it like this. So we're just going to save this variable canvas. We're going to set the canvas variable to create canvas, and that still puts the canvas on our page. So the next thing here is our draw function. So in our draw function, we're going to have a background so that it layers over each other. Yeah, so you don't get all the other frames appearing behind it. We're going to make that grey, and we're going to draw our image. And the way we're going to draw our image is we're going to draw our image using the images array and an index here. So if this is 0, it's going to show the first frame. Yeah. If this is 2, it's going to show the third frame. Yeah, because arrays always start at 0. Yeah, so if this is 1, it's going to show the second frame. Okay, but we're not going to do that. We're going to use our image index variable that we've set up here to 0. Yeah, and we're just going to put it on the canvas in the normal way that you put images on the canvas. Yeah. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to write a function that is going to move our frame. And by move our frame, how we're going to move our frame is we're going to increase the image index, because we want to move our frame from 0 to 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 to 6 to 7, and then we want to loop back to 0. Yeah, because 7, image index 7 is the last frame here. It's frame 8. Yeah, so when it gets to image index 7, we want to loop back to 0. Okay, so we're going to write that in a function here. This custom function we're just going to call move frame. You've probably seen something quite similar to this in a few spots in the TAP essay, how that increments. But anyway, image index, we're going to increment it by 1. But if the image index is greater than, now from your array exercise, you should be able to see that we're counting the length of the array and minusing it by 1, because the length of the array is 8, and we're going to minus it by 1. This just means that we can, instead of writing 7 here, if it's greater than 7, instead of writing that, we're going to, if we write it this way, it means that if we plonk another frame in here, we don't have to go back and change all our functions. Yeah. So that's essentially the same as writing 7. Yeah, if the image index is greater than 7, then set it back to 0. but what we're doing is we're going to use the image's length -1, so it's always so that we can add to that array if we need to. So that's our move frame function. So what we want to do is the way that we want to call that move frame function to increase the image index. So for this exercise here, we just want to do it on draw. So every time draw runs, we're going to move the frame. Yeah. So let's just save that and have a look at what happens. Draw runs very fast. So draw runs, I'm not sure how many times it runs, but it's something, you know, it's above 20 frames a second. It might be, I might have to look that up because I've set it in a few exercises and I don't know the exact number. But what we're going to do is we just, to bring it down, we're just going to set the frame rate at 3. And there we go, it's animating in a nice even way. Now for you guys, setting the frame rate to 3 is probably not an ideal solution because you've probably got things inside your entire tap essay that you want to animate at a faster rate than that. So you would have to write a function to make that animate sort of every 60 frames or every 120 frames. Write a function in here to animate it every 30, 60 or 120 frames. We can do that, but I just want to do that on a case-by-case basis with you. For this exercise, I just want you to sort of understand that we've slowed it down here. If we put that at 10, the animation is going to run faster. Yeah. Okay, so that's the first step. So that's the first video. Just go through that, get a handle on that, and then let's progress to the second one, where we will animate based on a click.